My name is Tony. I'm the father of an 8-year-old autistic boy by the name of Hunter. And I'm here to talk to you today about autism. This is my first post. What are you going to have for lunch today?
McDonald's?
McDonald's? Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Sit up so they can see you.
I'm just joking.
Here, let me turn this way. Ready?
I'm joking. I'm just playing a trick.
Okay, we can go to McDonald's if you want, but we'll have to think about it. Okay.
I'm just playing a trick. I don't want McDonald's. I want a sandwich. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich with some milk.
Now, Hunter, I noticed that you just said a sandwich. Why'd you say that?
A sandwich. Because I'm speaking like an old man.
I thought that I would start out by asking the question, what is autism? And a good way of answering that would be to look at the work of Hans Asperger, the person after whom the syndrome of Asperger's syndrome has been named. If you asked Hans Asperger whether he described the syndrome that we now know as Asperger's syndrome, I think he might actually be somewhat puzzled. He would say, well, some of the children that I cared for do have Asperger's, what you're now calling Asperger's syndrome, but my description was not limited to those people. In fact, Hans Asperger described what we would now call the autistic spectrum. He was a pediatrician. He joined a clinic in Vienna whose purpose it was to treat children who could not be educated in the regular system. And in his mid-30s, he wrote a doctoral thesis, which was called Autistic Psychopathy in Children. And in that, he described the autistic spectrum in an amazingly poignant and accurate way, I think in a way that has not been surpassed since. And he made many predictions which have subsequently been shown to be true. And one of the things that comes through in Asperger's paper is the passion that he felt about the children that he was caring for. He says at the end of his paper, the example of autism shows particularly well how even abnormal personalities can be capable of development and adjustment. Possibilities of social integration, which one would never have dreamt of, may arise in the course of development. He had a great deal of promise. He felt that these children had a great deal of promise. This knowledge determines our attitude towards complicated individuals of this type and other types. It also gives us the right and the duty to speak out for these children with the whole force of our personality. The right and the duty to speak out for these children with the whole force of our personality. We believe that only the absolutely dedicated and loving educators can achieve success with these difficult individuals. So Asperger felt he wasn't just a clinician, he felt a great deal of passion about these children and their capabilities. Asperger recognized what he called autistic intelligence. In other words, whereas previously autistic children would have been thought of as mentally retarded, they would have been thought of as brats, undisciplined brats, rejects, children who could not be educated in the system, he realized that they actually had a great deal of insight. He said that autistics tend to see things from the edge of attention. They take things in from the edge of attention. And yet their thoughts can be quite rich. And anybody who's interacted with an autistic child knows that they will notice something that you didn't even notice that they noticed. And then they'll make an observation about that which is very unique, which you never thought of before. And Asperger describes that. He also described the unique way in which these children were intelligent, and he noted that some of them were actually quite intelligent when he was able to test them. He would test them piecemeal and put the results of the test together and find that some of them actually had very high IQs. He said that he had observed over 200 families of individuals with autism, and he said in every single case he could discern similar traits in the parents of autistic children, and he actually described some of the parents. And to him, this suggested a genetic etiology. He said that the individuals that we're describing here vary from the highly original genius down to the weird eccentric who keeps to himself and achieves very little, down to the most contact-disturbed automaton-like individual. Asperger recognized the full spectrum. He recognized that highly original geniuses can have autism, and that the most profoundly mentally retarded individual can also have autism. He felt that with the proper love and understanding, that these individuals could find their true place in society. I'd like to just show you what Asperger looked like. Here's the man. That's what he looked like. Here's another picture of Asperger working in his clinic, and I'm pointing to him right there. Asperger wrote his work in 1944, and unfortunately it was not translated into English until it was done so by a woman by the name of Uta Frith, who wrote this book, Autism and Asperger Syndrome. And this book was published in 1991. And it's just amazing to me that such a sentinel work, such a moving work, was not even available to us in English for decades after it was written. Okay, well, next time I'll have a different subject for you. Thank you very much, people, and be well.